Welcome back, Denver Beer and Oil. You may notice today that there's no suspension on the front of this car. This is what we're going to be working on. We had some goodies come in while you guys weren't here from BC Racing. Ooh, fancy. So what we're doing right now, Chris was nice enough to take these off the car. And, well, hold on one second. Give it a second. So what we got to do, since this is an E34, we're going to try to make this educational sometimes so we're not just always belligerent and acting like jackasses. But these coilovers are not bolt-on like many of the other BMWs. For example, E36 has almost like a clamp and it slides in very easy. These kind, however, you have to actually cut the entire top of the strut housing off and then get your shiny new coilover and weld it. Oh, no, that's a rear. And you weld it to the bottom. So you leave 40 millimeters on there, you cut it off, you stick this sucker in there, and you weld it on, and then you've got yourself a coilover. So that's what we're going to do to fix the death trap suspension on the front of the car. All right, Chris, now go ahead and do loud noises.
So, that was the driver's side, the blown one, and hence you can see it is very blown.
That's not supposed to happen.
So,
oh, that's all the shock oil. Okay,
anyway,
gonna need some kitty litter.
So this one, I'm gonna take apart. I was thinking that was gonna launch and be very entertaining, but it just came off. So
I was gonna go also dump this into the oil receptacle, but all of it's on the ground already.
Sweet.
I'll try.
Still don't know what these springs are. All I know is E34 green springs.
Let me know. Green means go, man.
So tell me how much they're worth, and then tell me you want to buy them.
Cutting time. Let's do this. I think it saws all time. Designated grinding glasses on. Pissing. Ta-da! One strut, ready for a coilover. Or spindle, ready for a coilover. We need to save this because we don't have new end links. So now that we got our strut housing cut off from the E34, left 40 millimeters, this bad boy slides right over it, or at least in theory. My cut isn't beautiful, but it should work. And bam! Look at that. Sexy. Now I gotta clean it up and Zeus it on there. Let's make it happen. Let's melt some metal. All right, so looks like we got ourselves a coilover, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Not too shabby for some Harbor Freight welds, huh? Not everything sucks, Harbor Freight. Just your vice grips. Fix that shit.
All right, so we just got our BC coilover installed in the front. These are the BR series, so it's a 7K spring, more daily driving suited than track suited. But for drag racing, that's okay if it's a little softer. Whoa!
I didn't do that on purpose, but good job. Did somebody kick that over? Oh, Chris kicked it over.
Anyway, so we were test fitting our wheels, and we found out that the spokes of wheel were contacting our caliper. So we have a 10 mil spacer, and we're gonna see if that's enough to space her out.
NASCAR. This is a NASCAR. We're losing the race. Oh, I'm failing.
You can put them on there first.
Okay. Look at that, baby.
It's pretty wobbly.
Well, they're not. The lugs aren't all on it.
Okay.
And it's an optical illusion because there's a dark spot right here.
Oh, I'm watching the rim.
Oh, well, don't worry about that. It doesn't need to be balanced. Come on, that's for high speeds. Right now, this car doesn't even move. Okay, so we just got done putting the coilovers on the car. Big brakes are on. Coilovers are on. And because of the big brakes, we had to run spacers. Did Chris already talk about this?
Yeah.
Chris did already talk about this. Okay, so you guys are aware of the spacer issue. Going to be running spacers, but coilovers look super sexy. Ride height's pretty excellent. Wheels look amazing. So the front end is pretty much done. From here, we just got turbo stuff, which is making it sound easy, but that's probably going to be the hardest part. So now we're going to mosey on back and start working on differential things. We're going to put in the large case diff, which is a 315 limited slip. Should be pretty choice for our turbo setup. And we're also going to be running M5 stub shafts and an M5 E34 M5 drive shaft. The drive shaft is bigger, the shafts are bigger, and the differential we're putting in is much bigger and beefier. So I don't really think we should run into any issues as far as snapping pieces of our drive line. The weak point right now is currently the transmission. I'm really hoping that doesn't break, because if it does, we're pretty screwed. We'll probably bring in extra just in case. We have a few sitting on the shelf over there in our copious amounts of transmissions. But regardless, I don't really think that we want to be changing a transmission on our backs on the ground in Tucson. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, moving on. Differential. Let's go. Woo! Okay, so it's, let's see what time it is. It's 11 o'clock at night right now, and Chris and I have been working on this godforsaken abomination all day, and we have achieved almost nothing, but also a lot.
Almost nothing.
We made a video earlier that you guys probably are not going to see because we thought we were awesome and we figured things out. But then we found out
shit out.
No, we found out we actually suck. So, long story short, we went through about a zillion drive shafts, differentials, different flanges, different transmissions, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Center support bearings, guibos. If you know BMWs, all of the things that connect the transmission to the wheels, we fucked with.
At the beginning of the day, we had a transmission and a diff and axles in and everything going. Just no drive shaft, but it took us literally all day to figure out what combination of transmission, Guibo, front section of the drive shaft, rear section of the drive shaft, differential flange, and axles and brakes. Took us all day to figure out what combination of parts we had to use in order to get this car just to put power to the rear wheels because of the whole large case differential thing. But that's okay. It's all worth it because it's a 315 large case. It's never going to break. This car is going to haul absolute ass, and it's the perfect gear ratio for a high horsepower turbo car. So all in all, I don't think we failed too hard, but also failed a little bit, but also succeeded a little bit. So it's okay. And Chris has a cold beer in his hand, so all is well in the world.
And we got the rear brakes off that car. I put them on this car.
There's no on there because this car had an exploded rotor. Somebody had been ripping the e-brake quite hard, and the rotor was like
Cracked in 5
pieces.
So it might be one of those other videos. I don't know. Maybe not. Either way, they're the same size. They're 300 millimeter rotors, but the M5 comes with vented, and 535 comes with non-vented. So I guess we have slightly better cooling, and just not cracked.
Yeah. So we are now officially down to 4 days of build time before we have to be on the road, heading to. No, we have 4. We have like 3 and some change. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some of Thursday if we really need
We have 3 days in a morning.
3 days in a morning is what we're officially down to now to finish this car, which is a little intimidating. I hate to get cliche with this whole car build thing, but I can see why they get down to the wire now. So things left to do. Literally the entire turbo system. The only thing we have on is a manifold with like 3 bolts in it, and a turbo with no gasket, no bolts, no feed supply.
It's got 2 bolts in it, but no gasket.
Okay, no gasket, no oil supply, no oil drain, no intercooler piping, no blow-off valve, no wastegate. Already said injectors. Oh, the ECU's plugged in though.
The ECU is
Still
plugged
got that
in.
going for us. So, in the next 3.5 days, we have to completely install the turbo system, fabricate intercooler piping, fabricate an exhaust, install an interior, install seat belts, switch a cluster out, install a hood, finish installing the front end of the car,
We ordered tires last night,
install the tires that we ordered.
so hopefully those make it in time because I'm sick of paying for overnight shipping, so I didn't. So we'll see if they make it.
But we also now have shirts too. We have sweet designs of shirts that this beautiful specimen of a human behind the camera has designed and put together. That's Hamish. Yep. He killed it on the shirts. Anyway, and we also have a Patreon account now. So if you guys want to, support our nonsense and buy us some beer, we would love it. And we'll do more crazy things. And we'll have shirts to be giving you guys. We'll have other stuff, stickers, all kinds of crap. Anyway, I'm going to stop plugging and continue talking about the car.
Yeah, and this whole front end, like, none of this is attached in any way, so that all needs to be done. We need to mount the hood. Oh, we're gonna swap radiators.
M5.
M5 radiator, we found it's a little bit thicker, so that still needs to be done. We need to put a fan on said radiator.
I need to wire a fan. Since I'm the
Um,
wiring guy.
wiring guy,
Yeah.
fan.
Oh, I also need to fabricate another bracket for the radiator.
Yeah.
We also need to get another slave.
Mm.
That's, I guess, not too big of a
Slave.
deal.
No.
And fabricate a battery tie down. Oh, and install the fuel system.
Yeah, zero aftermarket. We need more flow.
So basically, we have a shell of a car with nothing done that is supposed to be fully running on a turbo and tuned and on the road and reliable in 3.5 days.
And now that the car is looking a whole lot better, I feel like we have to have side skirts on it too. So we're gonna have to go get those off the car out there too. So really, you can see that we have
put that at the
priorities.
bottom of the list here.
Like side skirts, priorities.
Okay, so let's go ahead and tack that onto the gigantic list of things to do.
But yeah, sir. That's,
So I think that's it. We'll come back to you guys tomorrow when we're a little fresher, and we're making some real progress on this thing. Hopefully, Chris is going to be getting some lines. I'm going to be doing some turbo stuff, maybe some wiring stuff. Yeah, got a lot to go on this car. So moving on, charging forward. Woo!